What's up, my fellow scruffy looking nerf herders, and welcome to the Carbonite Chat. Today we're going to be doing a video over the girl who blackmailed Darth Vader and actually survived it. This is reviewing parts of comic number 9 from the Darth Vader series, 10, 11, and 12. We're just going to be kind of picking out pieces from each one of those comics and just to detail this particular storyline going on through it. Now, earlier I did a video about Boba Fett hunting down Luke Skywalker. This was when Darth Vader hired Boba Fett to hunt down and find the boy who blew up the Death Star. Now, Luke actually got away from Boba Fett. I won't go too far into that because ultimately I did put the video out on another video that I put at the end of this one. But what Boba Fett went and told Darth Vader at the end of that was that the boy's name was Skywalker. And so Darth Vader obviously is shocked to find out that he may have a son, but he still wants to try to make sure 100% that that is the case. Now, if you remember from the Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, when Padme, after she died, if you looked at the funeral as she was going away, it showed that she still had a pregnant stomach, and obviously the Emperor told her that Padme died before giving birth, so Darth Vader never really questioned this, but now he has a reason to question it. So what he's done now is he's used the money that he stole from another video that I talked about, which is the Darth Vader comic series, the video that I did about Darth Vader stealing from the Empire. And so now he's using this money that he stole and he's giving it to this character, the girl that's going to ultimately blackmail him. Sorry, spoiler alert for the beginning of the video, but it's in the title. Doctor Aphra, which is a character that I've gone over in some of my other videos, and he's going to give her the money, and she's supposed to go and find out, however she needs to, the details to get the information that Vader needs to find out whether or not for sure that Luke is his son and is the Skywalker from Anakin Skywalker. So she goes to a place called Anthon Prime, and she goes and meets this weird character called the Auntie. Now, it's this kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. It doesn't really fit in Star Wars. If you put it in a movie, I would think it's weird, but it fits for a comic book. He kind of has like a horror character kind of face going on. It almost looks like he's got like a bag sitting on his face, but it's actually his face because she refers to his bald head or whatever. But anyways, so she goes and asks for information, and he speaks with her, and they show that there's, this bond that they've known each other for a while, and he's kind of shocked that she's got the money to afford the information that he gives out. And so then she gives him some money, and she asks that she wants the information on Comodex Ton. Now, he's like, really, you want to spend money from me? You could go and get this from any records place that you would possibly want. And so she says, but he's ultimately discreet and much faster, and so that's what she wants. So then she pays him the money, and then she goes to head off. And when she goes to head off, she says that you find out now that Comodex Ton was a mortician on Naboo. So now we find out ultimately what the plan is that she's going to go there and head to question and find out, was Padme really pregnant, or did they hide it some way with like a hologram or something like that to show that, make it look like she was pregnant when she really wasn't. And this would be one of the few people that would know. So the next scene for this storyline shows them landing on Naboo. You see the guy, and he looks, and all of a sudden a ship showing up, and then they just blow up the side of his house, and then all run out and jump with the droid army that has been built up from another video that I did where Darth Vader is beginning to build a droid army as he's considering going against Emperor Palpatine and kind of trying to take over as the leader of the Empire going forward. And so Dr. Aphra is leading this little army of droids, a bunch of commando droids and stuff, separatist droids, and she jumps down, runs in. They, of course, very easily take over the guy, and he's, saying that he's not going to give out any information. And of course, she's got her 2 murder droids, which is another video, but she has these murder droids that she's got, and one of them, the C-3PO version of the murder droids in particular, is very skilled at torture. It's one of the favorite things that he has skills in and loves and enjoys to do. He's always begging for it, to be able to kill or torture some human in all of the comics that are going out. So the guy's like, I'm not going to give you any information. And then, 000, which is the droid's name. So I love when you begin to try to play your part like you're not going to tell me. So then Dr. Aphra walks in the other room, and you kind of hear screaming, like, no, help, please, I'm sorry, like, I can't tell, on and on. And then finally, Triple Zero comes back in and says, I believe he'll be more talkative. And so then she's in there, and she, asks, and she says, you faked it, the pregnancy. She wasn't pregnant anymore, was she? And he doesn't really say anything. He goes, she had a boy, didn't she? And then so when she says it that way, and she says she just has a boy, then he kind of goes, yes, that's true. And she goes, so she had a boy, and the Jedi took the boy off and hid him. And he goes, yes, she had a boy, a healthy boy, and they took the boy off. So secretly still keeping that no one knows about Princess Leia, obviously, but that only Padme only had the boy, Luke Skywalker. So then she goes and flies back and tells Darth Vader that this is true. The information that he got, Luke is a Skywalker and was Padme's son. And so then she's like, so what do we need to do next? And he says, we need to find out where this boy is at, because there's other characters in the Empire searching out and try to find him. And now Vader, knowing that it's his son and with the Force abilities he has, he wants to find him before anyone else does, so that he can, of course, try to lead him to come join him and to go fight against the Emperor, and they can be the two that lead over the galaxy, as we obviously saw at the end of Empire Strikes Back. That was Vader's ultimate goal. All the whole thing that he set up, that everything that went into Empire Strikes Back happening, that all was to try to get Luke to join with him. Now this is just, obviously this is between A New Hope and Empire, and this is him beginning to try to find Luke now so that he can begin to do that. Obviously we don't see that happen until Empire Strikes Back. So he says, here, you need to go find out where Luke Skywalker is. And she says, well, the auntie, he kind of hinted that he had a lot more information about characters that we might want to know stuff about. And so Vader goes, you've got all this money here, take whatever you need and go find out this information. So then she heads back to Anthon Prime, and she goes to try to get the information from the auntie. And the auntie kind of makes a comment, says, this is something that a lot of people are wanting information on. He says, so the price is extremely high, and he shows her the price, and obviously it's, not in basic, so you can't know exactly what the credit number is. But she's shocked. It's like, wow, how do I know you didn't sell this to anyone else? And he says, ultimately I'm a patient man, and it's more beneficial to me to wait to find the right buyer that's willing to purchase it at the price that I set, as opposed to trying to selling it to multiple people and then not be as trustworthy as a buyer. That'll hurt me in the long run. So then she hands him over all of this money, and then he goes, obviously I know then that you stole the Sun Tool Pride's money, and which is what Vader stole using her. And so that's where that went. And so she goes, now just give me the information I need on where this boy's at. And he tells him that he's on Vros Vorgus, is I believe how you say it. And so she's like, awesome, thank you. And then alarms start going off, says, alert, alert, and the Empire starts to come in. And so the Empire's coming in and trying to attack. They're trying to find this information to find the person that stole the Sun Tool Pride, the money. And so then she goes and flees, and she's trying to run away, and she's being shot at. When they come in, they immediately come into the auntie, knowing that he would be someone that would know or have information on this. And he quickly points out and says, that's the person you're looking for. She's running. So they're all shooting at her. She slides underneath the door and barely gets away. And so they're going after Vader's there with the Empire. And so he leaves and kind of goes around a back way and then stops her mid-run, and all of a sudden just lifts her up and force chokes her. And she's like, please, no, I've got the information. So he drops her, and he goes, now tell me. And she goes, I will later. And so she refuses to tell him so that she'll be able to live, because she knows that she tells him now, Vader will just kill her, and then that'll be the end. And so she's trying to buy herself some more time. And so she begins to say something, and he goes, silence. He goes, you're going to pay for this. And so then she ends up flying away, and Vader makes it say is that it's a trap that happened, that she set a trap, and that's why he was unable to get her. And then when they're trying to chase her down, he convinces another one of the Imperial officers to leave trying to chase this one girl to get information on another group that they got information from the auntie before he was shot and killed. And so that it's better to go and get this whole operation of people, the plasma devils, than it is to just go after one girl. So the guy agrees, so they leave, which allows her to go away and get free. So then a little while later, at the location where all of the money at, Dr. Aphra's sitting there waiting, and 000 is kind of like, why would you come back here? Vader obviously knows this location. This is where we always meet. Why would you not try to run and hide? And she says it's pointless to try to run and hide from Vader. And so 000 and BT, the two murder droids, are sitting there kind of discussing which ways they think Vader's going to kill her. And so then all of a sudden Vader shows up. She screams and she's backing up into the wall. And he's like, give me the information. She immediately just says he's on Voss Vorgis. And she goes, the only reason I didn't tell you before is because I knew you would kill me, and then I didn't try to run and hide because I wanted to prove to you that I was trustworthy, and that I protected myself there, but I was never going to try to keep this information from you to keep myself safe. I want you to believe that I'll do whatever it takes to try to help you. And then Vader goes, I've been very impressed by the things that you've done so far, and so because of that, I'll be willing to give you a chance to continue to prove yourself and not kill you now. And he goes, but if this information that you've given me, some kind of trap or some kind of trick, I will hunt you down, I will find you, and I will kill you. That's very Liam Neeson there.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Essentially, she did blackmail Vader, which was a threat Vader made from the very beginning, and said, if you ever try to cross me like that, I will kill you immediately. And she ended up surviving, and it shows that she has gained, with the amount of things that she's done throughout this time to prove to Vader how beneficial she is, that it's worth keeping her around, because I guess her plan to not try to run and hide, but to stay there, wait, let him come, and then tell him immediately, paid off for her, that he allowed her to live a little bit longer. So now it leaves with Vader heading off to go find Luke on this Voss Vorgis or whatever. And apparently, from what she said, because he was like, why would he be there? She said it's supposedly an old Jedi temple. So that's why Luke would actually be there trying to find it. But anyways, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about whether or not you think Vader should have killed her, or was it fitting to the character? Vader tends to not have too much sympathy for people that do things or cross him, but I think it was all right. I think it fit. I think a little on the questionable side, but you see every little thing, as all of the things that I mentioned about, I've done videos on other ones. Basically all of them are about Dr. Aphra getting Vader something that he needs. So over these past days or weeks or however long it's been in between A New Hope and Empire, she's doing a ton of stuff for him. And he can't do all of this because he's working with the Empire. So he can't be working with the Empire and be doing all these things behind in secret. It'll look too weird. So he needs her to be able to do those things. And so far, she's proved herself trustworthy. And that allowed her to survive, despite the fact that she ultimately blackmailed him at one point to be able to survive another day and hopefully be able to convince them that she was trustworthy later. But anyways, comment down below on some of your thoughts. Comment whether or not you like this Dr. Aphra character. Obviously now they're running a Dr. Aphra comic series, and I think she's a great, really cool character. Also down below you can look, I have links to all of these in my background. They are Amazon affiliate links. I will get a small percentage of that, but I always see stuff in people's backgrounds that I like, and sometimes they're kind of hard to find. So I thought it'd be easier if anybody liked anything that's in my background. You can just look in the links below, and there's a link right there that'll take you directly to it so you can purchase those. Also in the link below is this t-shirt, my TeePublic page link. So you can go there and get this t-shirt, and I also have another t-shirt if you like the designs. Then that would be absolutely incredible if you picked any of those up. You can also go to my Instagram and Twitter at Carbonite Chat, where you can be able to find information where I'll be posting up videos about when I post. Also, I'll be posting somewhere in this area all of the videos that I mentioned so far prior that I've done about the Dr. Aphra series. I may create a Dr. Aphra / Vader comic playlist, which if I do, I'll put that right here. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching, and never forget, you nerf herders, I love you.
I know.